Hello there. Once again, Santon from Antonio Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room today. Today we're taking a look at the last of the Nightman comics. This would be issues 21 through 23, plus I have an annual with a big sticker on the front. But that's the end of the Nightman under the Malibu heading. It was produced, I think it did run a couple issues into the once Marvel had taken over all publishing rights and everything, but I don't remember any of the books. I don't think I have any. You know, it's just one of those things where they're hard to find. I know he had a few crossovers with like Gambit and with like Wolverine and stuff like that with the Nightman, but as far as I can really remember, this is where the Nightman story ended for me. So issue 21, we got the guy who's just a chalk outline. I forgot all about him until I started going through this series again. We're back to having some fairly decent art in the book. And you know what? Before I go too much further, this is June 1995. So the Ultraverse universe, as it exists, is pretty much ready to fold in on itself. We'll be at the end of it shortly. I don't know if it all ends in like a temporal storm like it does in the Marvel universe, but there's definitely something like that. This is his most pristine. Like, his outfit changes all the time. It subtly gets better all the time. This is like his perfect, like, it's reached its pinnacle. I don't think he ever evolves the costume past this. It's as far as it goes. It's hammer time. We got Thor coming in, which means, of course, Marvel is getting involved. We're getting punched out by the chalk outline. A rarity in Malibu Comics, we get a big turn page, or at least a rarity in Ultraverse books. Get a couple. This chalk guy, he can like slice you up. He surrounds you, kills you, pulls you tight. And I don't remember this woman's name. Let's see. Oh, I think it's the living girlfriend of the dead chalk guy. Anyway. This one's a pretty, like, this is not a save the world story. This is pretty low key gang violence, revenge story. But they do it well. That's always been one of my favorite Prime covers. Night lines. We got Loki getting involved here very shortly. We got Wolverine versus the Nightman, an exclusive comic. Letter pages, which I'm sure are a little bit more sad, knowing that all the properties are about to be canned and rolled up into Marvel. Anyway, 20, you know that guy. Marvel has basically totally overhauled it. It's at this point they own everything. They're still publishing them under the Malibu heading. And Black September hasn't happened, but this is July, August, September. Black September was the last it was all published. That was when it was all just destroyed. So we have Loki popping up now because, I mean, Marvel has got their hands on this thing big time. That's why we got Overpower going on. And I guess it just saddens me a little bit to know that Marvel has all these characters and all these comics and that they're not going to ever use them. Probably they can't. But the other part of me is like, you know, I'm kind of glad that the Ultraverse could just be and exist for a couple of years and then just stop. Because I think that is some of the worst thing that happened to comics is they just keep going on forever. Got a lot of panels in that. And when you don't ever end the story, sometimes things get bad, you know? It doesn't work the way that you really want it to. And so I'm not against comic book stories having a start and a finish. Some characters, obviously like Superman, have gone through tons of changes, and I'm fine with that. And I want them to keep rolling. That's great. But like a character, some of them, if they're just going to end it, I can handle that. I'm good with that. What I'm glad about Disney not doing anything with these, and I hope they continue to leave these alone. I don't think these should be brought into the modern era. These are like such distinctly 90s characters. Like, I just, you would have to redesign them. Oof. Wow, that one just took a dive. Did you see that comic commit suicide? Just talking about being owned by Disney made it kill itself. But no, trying to bring these characters and their dynamics and stuff into the modern comic, whatever you call it. I don't even know what it is. I don't read modern comics. They suck so bad. But these 90s characters, the 90s outfits, even some of the powers are so 90s that I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want them to try. Don't even try to bring it back. Just let it sit in the 90s with Dark Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Don't drag it into the future. Just leave it here where everybody's got ponytails and goatees and pirate radio stations, and just let it be the 90s. Everybody rides a ninja, you know. Don't drag it into the future, because the future of comics, well, pretty much sucks. I know some people still love to read their new books, and I'm not gonna poo-poo that or anything like that, but man, there's a reason why the end of the 90s, early 2000s, the comic industry took like a major shit, and nobody can do it anymore. Like, nobody, I don't know how you can go and buy a new comic book off the shelf for $5.99, and most of the time they're not that good, and it blows my mind. This $250 for a monthly title, shoot, that was getting expensive for me. And I heard one person say the comic industry died as soon as they took it off of newsprint. And maybe it did start dying when they did that. I could respect that. Ryan on. So anyway, that's one reason why, even though I'm sad that these books kind of ended the way they did, I like that, I can own all of them and they don't have to just keep hunting them down. That was it. You know what? I just realized that was it. What was the last page? What was the last panel? And now you're ready for Black September. That's a bad ending. Now, do I have the Black September books? Yeah. Do they tie up this story? Not really. That's kind of sucky. But yeah, I love the fact that I can own all of the Ultraverse. These are still cheap. I paid like 25 to 50 cents for most of my Malibu Ultraverse titles. That's what they cost out of the quarter bin. That's what they cost from East Coast Comics. So this is the annual, which I didn't know I had an annual. This took place earlier. This is January 95. This is like back a ways. We still have Tech Night going on. That is the most 90s look. If you were riding a ninja motorcycle to your crimes, to fight crimes, you were in the 90s. This is ironically, the movie was not good. The book, novelization, was actually really good. Really like that. So yeah, the Ultraverse is dead, and I think it should just stay there. I think it should just stay dead and let it lay. Disney would just mess it up anyway and make it suck ass like they do everything. So, I mean, how would you translate this guy's outfit into the modern 90s era? How? You can't. Because this comic exists in the 90s, and it should not try to exist in any other time. It's a 90s book. That guy looks so much like Cyclops. It's crazy. You summed me up good, but fear my stock in trade, just like the Republicans. Now that is scary. I have no idea what he's talking about. But that's ridiculous. Adam Bob. If I remember this guy from The Strangers, he was like the team leader, and he ended up like turning against all of them and being the bad guy, which, you know, I don't I didn't see coming. And there's a lot of strangers. Now, if you're not familiar with why the book The Strangers is so closely associated with the Nightman, it comes from the fact that the strangers were all on a cable car that was struck by space lightning that turned them into ultras and gave them superpowers. And that cable car rolled down the hill and hit Johnny Domingo's car. And that is why he has powers. Just not that good of powers. And so that is the correlation. Is his car convertible was hit by the cable car that gave everybody else power. So transference there. That's what he got. Anyway, I mean, it's sad, but this is the end. This is all the, that's the Nightman. 23 issues, ran for just a little over 2 years. And that was it. Appreciate you guys watching it, because I've got like, I did this with the whole series. So if you want to look at the whole series of Nightman, check the playlist. I'm sure I've got it all packed into a Nightman playlist. If you want to look at that. Otherwise, check out my other videos with all sorts of comics in them. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you like the Nightman. And I will close out that series so much.